This is a presentation on the proposed water rate adjustment for County Service Area 35, Santos Ranch, and Los Ranchos. Our presentation will provide a quick overview of special districts, specific information about your special district and its financial health, and next steps. Let's start with the bigger picture. Special districts are a form of local government that provide a specific service within a defined boundary. They are legally separate entities from the county. Special district funds are kept separate from the rest of the county's funds. Whatever is collected from a special district stays within the district. These dollars are not spent for any other purpose than providing the service or services within the district. This also means these districts must be generally self-supporting from customer charges, and the county general fund is not able to subsidize the costs. There are more than 100 special districts throughout the county, managed by the county's Public Works Division for the provision of water, sewer, storm drainage, and street lighting services. For water alone, the county provides service to more than 5,600 properties in 32 districts. Your community service area is 35, or CSA 35, and it was established in 1983 to provide water service for 96 properties, including the elementary school. Your water system consists of 103 service connections, 2 wells, nearly 3 miles of water distribution pipes, and 1 backup generator. Your system is funded with rates charged to the 96 properties. The rate structure for water services is an annual charge collected on the property tax roll, and it's based on the Single Family Equivalent Unit, or SFE. The SFE is the level of benefit from the service that is received by the average single-family home. Every single-family home is assigned 1 SFE. A parcel may be assigned more than 1 SFE depending upon land use type. The current water service flat rate per SFE for CSA 35 is $1,205 per year, or a little more than $100 per month. However, Lammersville Elementary is billed on a metered rate, which is $2.12 per 1,000 gallons. Over the past 5 years, CSA 35 has had an average annual operating expense of approximately $143,000. The greatest cost driver is labor, at approximately 65% of all costs. This is primarily for staff time to operate and maintain the system and to respond to service calls, but it also includes a small portion for administrative costs to cover billing and financial analysis. The other major cost is electricity, representing around 26% of the district's expenses. It's important to note that the electricity costs are pass-through costs. They are not offset or subsidized by the county. This graphic shows CSA 35's revenues and expenses over the past 9 years. Revenues are the blue line, expenditures are the orange line. Despite a 5-year rate adjustment that began in fiscal year 2020-2021 that was meant to account for inflation, expenses during this time outpaced revenues. Specifically, labor and electricity costs increased by 18% and 20%, respectively. Also in fiscal year 2020-2021, the water system experienced a critical system failure. It was estimated that $500,000 would be needed to replace a water well. So $500,000 was transferred into the district from the reserve established by the developer. However, it was later determined that a repair was possible at an estimated cost of $220,000. However, additional repairs were necessary in fiscal year 2023-24, costing the district approximately $70,000. This graphic illustrates the district's operational fund balance after the $500,000 was transferred into the district's account from the reserve. As seen on this slide, both the increased operating expenses and system repairs have caused the operational fund balance to decrease. Additionally, the groundwater characteristics in the area cause more wear on the water system, resulting in more repairs compared to similar water systems. It's important to ensure the district has sufficient operational and reserve fund balances to meet future repair or replacement needs. Currently, the district is experiencing declining operational fund balances and expenditures are exceeding revenues. This is not sustainable. To adequately fund operations and maintenance and replenish the fund balance, the county is proposing a 5-year rate adjustment. Broadly speaking, the recommended rate schedule is structured to gradually increase service charges. The first year is meant to mostly address the gap between revenues and operating expenses, with a smaller contribution to repair and replacement. The phase-in of additional repair and replacement costs is structured over 10 years. This means at the end of the proposed 5-year period, property owners will be asked to consider new rates that account for the remaining capital replacement contributions. Specifically, the proposed adjustment increases the annual service charge per single-family equivalency in the first year from $1,205 to $1,371. This is an annual increase of $166 or $13.83 per month. This includes about $6,400 for repair and replacement projects. The first-year increase represents the largest jump in the 5-year period because we're trying to close the gap for operating expenses. Once we catch up, more rate revenues can go toward replacement and repairs. By the 5th year, the annual rate is $1,797 per SFE or single-family equivalency, and about $32,000 will go toward replacement and repairs. The ending fund balance would be approximately $359,000, assuming no unanticipated repairs. So what happens if rates are not adjusted? The county may need to consider service level reductions. This could include reducing after-hour and weekend service calls, reducing regular maintenance of the system, and postponing equipment replacement. Any of these things could lead to system failure and service disruptions, which of course everyone would like to avoid. And in the most critical scenario, the county board could impose a stage 3 water emergency and limit water usage to indoors only. So how are rates adopted? Under California Prop 218, the county must send a notice to property owners no fewer than 45 days before a public hearing before the Board of Supervisors. Notices in this case were mailed June 5th, and the public hearing is scheduled for July 29th at 9 a.m. This is a protest process, and you have the right to submit a written protest. Written protests must be received by Public Works before 5 p.m. on July 28th, so the day before the public hearing, or they can be submitted in person at the public hearing. Again, this is a protest process, so if 50% plus 1 of the properties protest the rates cannot be approved. Barring a protest, the Board of Supervisors could adopt the rates following the hearing on July 29th. Rates would become effective in fiscal year 25-26 and would be reflected on your property tax bill this fall. For more information regarding your district, you can visit the district's webpage at www.sjgov.org/UD. You may also contact Robert Davalos by phone at 209-468-3697 or via email at rdavalos@sjgov.org. Thank you so much for your time.